Hello and welcome to my next video of constellations. The constellation that I wanted to demonstrate and look at today is Perseus. This constellation is in between the constellation Perseus and Cassiopeia. I wanted to focus on this constellation because it has a lot of cool, interesting things in it, but also it's not very well known. So that's why I picked it. And the star, or dot, you're looking at right now, is the center star of like the heart of the constellation, right? And standing like on the ground, most of the dots kind of look gray, or most of the stars kind of look grayish. But if you zoom into them like in the telescope, like which it is right now, you can notice that it has like a gentle yellowish hue to it. Right? That's because this star is actually similar to our own, not in size and distance, but in like color. Like it literally looks kind of yellow. Other stars in the night sky, like Betelgeuse, are like bright, deep red, and then other stars like Sirius, like the brightest blue. Those are the brightest blue and red stars in the night sky. Have different colors, and what the color means is that it burns at different brightness. Right, so a brighter star will burn hotter, but for shorter, and a red star will burn dimmer, but for longer. And so red stars, not red, what am I thinking? Yellow stars are like kind of in between that, where they are like both bright and they burn like somewhat long. It's like in the middle of the spectrum. So that's kind of cool. I know it's not that visually interesting, that it's just a dot. But it like represents so much more than a dot. So yeah. The next thing within the Perseus constellation I wanted to show you is Aggle. Alright, so right now you were looking at Aggle, also known as the demon star. The reason why it's also known as the demon star, right, is because it gets brighter and dimmer, the star, over 3-day periods, and it took a lot of people a lot of time to figure it out. If you're ready for the answer, it's because there are multiple stars in the system, because it is a binary system, and since bi means two, there are two main stars that orbit each other, and it's positioned in a way where they regularly go into eclipses of each other, right? And from our vantage point, if you have two flashlights and one goes over the other, it gets dimmer. And then if you have them side by side, it gets brighter, right? So that orbiting period of stars going behind and in front of each other, that constant cycle, that's what creates the brighter and dimmer cycle. And that cycle takes about 3 days, 3 Earth days. And that's why, if you look at it, it's not one dot. It's like a bunch of dots smushed together. So that's really cool in astronomy. That almost never happens. And it's one thing to have all this information, like, for example, its regular magnitude is, its brighter magnitude is 2, and its dimmer magnitude is 3, right? It's like a lot to know it, but to actually have like my telescope aligned and to have the camera on it and it's not falling off, and the lensing and it's a lot of things that have to line up. And it's really cool that I can say this information and like you can literally see it. Like you can see like multiple dots in that one dot. So that's like really cool. The next thing I wanted to look at is the double cluster. It's not exactly in the constellation, but it's pretty close to it. So let's look at that. I wanted to talk briefly about the formation of these two clusters. Even though they're close enough to see in one telescope, they're not actually coming together because our own Milky Way, originally Perseus H and X was one cluster, and then gravity from our own Milky Way pulled them apart, and then now we have two clusters. And even though they're physically pretty close in space, only like 300 light years away, which is pretty close in space standards, but they're actually moving apart, so I thought that's pretty neat for like the formation of how they came to be. Also, I would like to say that the photos for both of these was done with like a cool new feature on my phone with like the night mode, and I really like how you can see the stars and like the different colors between not white stars, between blue and red stars, and that it kind of let me back up. I would like to say that the foamy whiteness you see between the stars, that was the filtering on my camera with the night mode, but I think it still highlights it and makes it easier to see. So not part of the original photo, but I think it adds on nicely. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed watching.